Seattle Mariners get Kolten Wong from the Brewers for Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro. So Kolten Wong, a hot topic in trade discussions so far this offseason. And last season was a solid year for Kolten Wong, a guy who has some pop, guy who could steal some bases, and obviously one of the better second basemen in the major leagues. So last season with the Brewers, 15 home runs, 47 RBI, 17 stolen bases, 65 runs scored, a 251 average, and a 339 on base percentage. So right now he goes from the Brewers here that are in transition mode kind of, where they're selling off some of their high paid players here, and they get Jesse Winker in the deal, who's bounced around now over the last couple seasons. But anyway, in terms of fantasy baseball, I think Kolten Wong could be a decent second baseman for fantasy owners. Going to a team that's obviously in win now mode, a team that made the playoffs last season, and also where they're building a good nucleus over there is the Seattle Mariners team. So I know Wong's bounced around as well over the last few seasons, but he's a guy that could be serviceable with home runs. He's going to help in stolen bases, and in the later part of fantasy drafts, I definitely would target Kolten Wong. Anywhere from the 15th to about the 20th round, he should go either as your starting second baseman as a sleeper option, or a guy to come off the bench as utility. Now to Jesse Winker going to the Brewers. So Winker a couple seasons ago in the same division in the NL Central with the Cincinnati Reds in 2021 was his best season of his career, 24 home runs, 71 RBI, 77 runs scored, a stolen base, a 305 average, and a 394 on base. But last season with the Mariners, he just couldn't get anything going really. 14 home runs, 53 RBIs, 51 runs scored, a 219 average, and a 344 on base. So right now, Wink is still going to get an everyday opportunity, I believe, over here for this Milwaukee Brewer team. And obviously, that's a good hitter's park as well. And he's familiar, like I said, with the NL Central, playing with the Cincinnati Reds for many seasons. So Jesse Winker, and he's going to be a guy probably on draft day in fantasy baseball that you're going to target, obviously, in the later rounds as a sleeper option or a guy to come off your bench. But he definitely has some pop. We saw it a few seasons ago with the 24 home runs, and maybe getting out of Seattle and going, obviously, back to the NL Central will help Jesse Winker. And Abraham Toro last season, he had a couple decent ball games with the Seattle Mariners where he actually had some fantasy value for the earlier part of the season, but then he totally fell off with 10 home runs, 35 RBIs, 36 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases with a 185 average and a 239 on base. So right here, Toro, he's going to be a backup, 25th, 26th man most likely on this team, and he's not going to have any fantasy value next season. So right now, the Brewers and Mariners make a pretty decent trade here with Jesse Winker and Toro going to the Brewers, while Kolten Wong going to the Seattle Mariners. And we'll see what these guys could do for their new teams and possibly fantasy owners in the 2023 season.